welcome back to my channel. My name's Myra. If you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to do a flaming hot Cheeto breakable heart. I really hope that you guys like it. If you have any more ideas of anything that you want me to do, go ahead and leave a comment down in my comment box. And if you're looking for anything that I used in this video, it will all be linked down in the description box for you. So let me go ahead and show you everything that I'm going to be using. We're going to be using chocolates, and the first ones are going to be these orange ones. I'm also going to be using yellow. And the last one's going to be 2 bags of the red melts. Now, I don't have 2 bags of these, but I am going to show you what you can do to improvise in case this happens to you. And I'm also going to be using these icing letters just to write a message on top of my heart. You can make these letters out of chocolate as well, but I couldn't find my mold to do that one, so I'm just going to go ahead and use these. And then the last thing you're going to need is going to be our mold. We're going to put our chocolates in 3 different bowls. I'm going to use the entire red bag. And we're going to use just a little bit of the yellow and a little bit of the orange. To heat up my chocolates, I put them in the microwave for this amount here, which is the full bag. I actually like to place these for like 1 minute and 30 seconds, and you want to make sure not to burn them, so I like to place mine in there for 30 seconds at a time. So I'm not going to add anything to our mold because this is silicone. It's really easy for everything that you do on here to pretty much come out. And to spread the chocolate, you can either use a silicone spatula or you can use a spoon. It doesn't matter, but I feel like this one is a little bit easier because it is the perfect size for our corners. And then once everything is melted, I'm just going to mix and make sure that everything is dissolved. And I'm going to do the same for the rest of the colors. Now the first thing we're going to do is add our colors. For this, I'm just going to be using a fork. It doesn't matter. So I'm going in with my orange one, and you pretty much want to do this. You don't need it to be perfect. Just need it to go all around. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing with our yellow color. And I'm doing this in the corners because I feel like it helps with the effect a little bit better. And I'm just tapping it. And I'm just going to take this to the freezer for about 5 minutes. And this is what your chocolate should look like after 5 minutes. It is completely frozen and you don't really want to move this. So we're going to just put it down and add our next color. And for the red color, I'm going to pour it completely in the middle and then spread it around.
Searching for something that ain't lost. Have we got it? Our lines crossed. We're wasting time on stuff that doesn't really matter.
And if you notice on here, every time I go up, the chocolate comes back down. So I'm going to repeat this step a few times just so we can make it thick. And now I'm going to place this in the freezer for about 10 minutes. And this is how our chocolate looks like after being in the fridge for 10 minutes. It doesn't matter if your inside is not perfectly smooth because you can't really see this part. And if you noticed, I did go in a few times on my corners because I only had 1 bag of the red melts. So for this, you can either do 3 things. Buy a second bag of your red melts. You can also go in a few times with your spatula on each of your sides. Or you can hold on to a little bit of your chocolate and then freeze it. And once you take it out, go ahead and redo the sides and then freeze it again. So for that third step, you want to make sure not to add your melts all at once in the microwave, because your chocolate will be hard by the time that this is out of the freezer. So you don't want to reheat it because it will burn. So you can go ahead and keep a few remelted and then do the third step. And I'm going to be gifting this one, so I'm going to put this in a box. And in case you want to purchase some of these, I will be linking them in my description box. To start removing this from the mold, I'm just going to detach the heart from each of the sides. And I'm doing that by just pulling it out carefully. I literally just broke the corner here, which isn't a problem. I'm just going to show you guys how to fix that. And to fix that, I'm just going to be taking one of the colors that we used. It doesn't matter which one, just make sure you stick to one. So I'm just going to take that yellow color and add it as a second layer to our heart. And then add a little bit more to our corners just to make sure that they are thick enough for this heart not to break. I am going to focus a little bit more on the side that broke because I want to make sure it doesn't break again. And when making this heart, these top sides are usually the most fragile ones. So that's why I always suggest adding a second layer of chocolate, because you can never go wrong with making it more secure. And I'm going to add this to the freezer one more time. So now that it's out of the freezer, I'm doing the same thing I was doing earlier, which was taking it apart from the sides. And to start removing it completely from the mold, I'm going to start from the top, and I'm just going to pull this back carefully. And once our heart is halfway out, I'm going to put my hand on the bottom part and then remove the rest. And if you notice on our corners with the splatter effect, it gave it that flaming, like, hot fire effect. And to make our theme a little bit more noticeable, we're going to add some of these icing letters. If you're going to be gifting this, you can add a bag of hot Cheetos to the middle. You could get those at the dollar store. They're really small. They fit perfectly fine in this heart. And I'm going to be adding the phrase "you're hot" so it can match a little bit more with our theme. So I'm taking one of the letters and adding chocolate to the back. You can do this with a fork to make sure that none of it goes to the front, but I'm just going to be adding it on here carefully. I added paper to add this to our box so it looks a little bit more full, but I'm also going to be adding some strawberries. And I'm taking the rest of that yellow color that I was using to stick our letters. You can add it in different directions to make up different patterns. So I'm just going to be drizzling it side to side. My strawberries are already washed and dried. If you notice, the only thing I'm doing is setting our strawberry right in the center and lifting it. And here's a little bit more of a close-up on our strawberry. As you can tell, the yellow adds that flaming effect. And I'm going to repeat the same step for my next 3 strawberries. If you feel like your side has more of the red color instead of yellow, you can dip it one more time to get more of that yellow on your strawberry. And before I put the strawberry in the paper, I want to make sure that it is completely dry so it doesn't stick. And the really nice part about the Breakable Heart is that it's really inexpensive. You don't have to spend a lot to gift it or to sell it. You can definitely make money. So I really hope that I inspired and hopefully help some of you. And I'll see you guys in my next video.